Hey guys, so I've got some very special guests here on my channel today. I've got Heidi and Hayden Hosking from Australia, and Hayden's a very special boy. I ran into his channel at the end of last summer, and I'm not sure how it appeared in my feed, but it was for a reason apparently. He's got a very strong connection to the different dimensions of the cosmos, and so he's just going to tell us a bit about that. So hello, you guys. Thank you for joining me today.
It's good to be on.
So, yeah. I've really been looking forward to this too. I think I tried reaching you back in September of last year, but you know, divine timing.
Divine timing. We're here now.
So today is the perfect timing. How about a little camera bounce? Little background on you both. Yeah. Heidi, maybe you go first. Tell me about yourself and your website and your channel that you've started.
Yeah, sure. So, well, my work has all come from this one, who's activated me. He wakened me, you know, since he was born, but more so when he was 3. He led me down the path of don't feed me this food, which we thought was healthy, but food intolerances, chemicals took us down the whole, just detox me and make me clean. And yeah, Hayden was looking ASD and ADHD then, and so we took all that away. And me being a speech pathologist, I worked with lots of little kiddies with disabilities. I was really in tune with the ASD ones and the really bright and sensitive ones, which, you know, I'd say what Hayden is now. And so when I started working with these kids, though, once I'd cleaned up Hayden, then I started seeing it them. I could see the light in them, and really what I'm saying is the shadows was all the things that are getting in the way, like food, toxins, the emotional stuff that's there, and their relationship with others, and that was their shadows. And so, yeah, so now I'm, well, I guess what you'd say is empowering mums to heal, activate, empower themselves first, because Hayden has shone the biggest mirror at myself to do my inner work and get rid of all the ego stuff, all the limiting beliefs and whatnot. And then, you know, he reflects that back at me. And the more I've done that, you know, I changed all my diet, we got rid of all the chemicals, and then my intuition went through the roof. And so then it's been this game back and forth that Hayden then opens up his intuition. So yeah, so my website, HeidiHosking.com, I have got a lot of different things on there, but the main thing that I'm doing is my new children healing sanctuary, where I have online courses for mums to come in and look at how they can help their children. I'm calling it the new way, not the allied health way. I had to deregister being a speech pathologist because I couldn't handle the surface view. And then to see what's underneath, and to see, you know, even schooling, the medical community, parenting, like behavior management and all of that, how we can do it from the heart instead of looking at what's wrong with our children. And when I've looked at what the light is for Hayden and gotten rid of the shadows, yeah, he's just gone forth in amazing ways. So yeah, so that's my journey. And obviously, yeah, and then I do some videos on YouTube as well. And the interesting thing that I've gotten with Hayden is the download of these new child types that reflect their integration of star, heart and earth energy, and the different combinations, which gives us the look. So Hayden, I knew straight away he was a cosmic star, the double hit of star energy. But yeah, and then there's the heart energy, that's, you know, his thing to integrate, and the earth energy as well for him. So yeah, so I'm going forth helping mums in lots of different ways with that.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So how about you, Hayden? What's your story? So you've been astral traveling as long as you can remember.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So every night when I go to sleep, I don't really go dreaming. I just my soul goes out of my body, and I just go off into the stars, and my soul goes to wherever I need. And most of the time I go to the planet that I created, Straighter.
Yep, Straighter. Yes, I've heard about that on your channel. And so tell me about Straighter.
So I created that planet, and there's animals in the element caves that I created, and the only living things apart from the trees that are alive in Strata are the animals in the element caves, apart from the dragons outside of the element caves that are in the entire border of Strata. They're like the people, the race. And so that's really what it is. The animals in the element caves, they just live in their elemental places. Like there's a hill for the fairy element. There's just a pit of lava for the fire element that goes down into a world full of fire. There's a ice mountain for the ice element, and you go into the cave in the middle of the mountain to go inside to their ice world. The moon element is just a crescent, and then next to it is a giant orb that you go through, and that's a portal to their entire world. And no one's ever been there before. It's practically undiscovered. And
that's it's in the 7th dimension?
In Strata, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, and the animals are elementals.
Yeah.
And they come from their respective elemental cave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And what inspired you to create this planet?
I just found a blank planet that had nothing on it, and there was this little recorder thing. I didn't know what it did, and then when I looked on it, I figured out what it did, and so I just started moving the wisps of energy around, and things started to pop up on the planet until I created the entire planet full of dragons and element caves and all the dragons' homes and everywhere.
Awesome. And was that something that you started doing when you first started astral traveling? Or did that come later?
I can't remember when the start was, but yeah, there's kind of not time from when I started astral traveling and now. And it's just, I don't know when I went to Strata and when I started astral traveling. Well, astral traveling was when I became like energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so,
like
you didn't learn this.
No.
Sorry?
Yeah, there's interesting things with time. Like, it was hundreds of years ago I created this. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, the time thing is a mystery. Hey,
right.
Yeah.
Time doesn't exist there, does it?
No.
No. So, and you always have known how to do this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's, in the lower dimensions, you've been in there, and there's it's a darker energy. Can you tell me a little bit about that and the difference between that?
In like the 2nd dimension, the things move super slowly and it's dark in like almost everywhere. And as you walk, things will start to lash out at you. So there were like these black wisps that were starting to cover me as I went through there. So I had to leave after like a bit, unless I wanted to be fully influenced and made into a dark spirit. It was kind of like bad.
So they could probably overtake you in the lower dimensions.
Yeah.
And then there's a different vibration there, yeah?
That's why we're only just thriving. We're in the 4th dimension, I think, and we're moving into the 5th.
Now, we are,
yeah.
Yes, as humans. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a higher vibration with each dimension, right?
Yeah.
And didn't you say they're closer together, correct? The higher dimensions are much closer together because of the frequency? That's very cool. And so how about portals? I remember you talking about runes and portals.
So, well, what I do is I've got some runes here, and this is what a rune is, and they've got these symbols on them. I put the rune up to the guidebook that you get in the book, well, in the rune set, and I place it on the symbol. I read out the words that the thing has on it, read out the words that the book has, and then after I read the words and the 4 letters after it, it's just like I black out here, as Mommy told me, and I go through a portal into a different realm. The first time I used them, I didn't know where I was going, but then I used all of them and figured out where they all went to.
Do you want to tell them about the last rune that you picked?
The last rune was Atlantis that I went to.
So you've been there.
Yeah, I felt a bad vibe about it at first, and then when I tried it, it actually went to Atlantis. And there were all these like frog, mermaid, lizard things, like a tail of a lizard with a mermaid's fin on the end, a human mermaid face. It had a face of a girl, and then it had webbed hands, and it was green. Its body was green, and so were its legs, and its toes were webbed too. Had claws on the end of its hands too.
So most of the beings there were that type of race.
Those are the citizens, and they were carrying tridents everywhere too.
Interesting. And what did it look like there?
It was like these weird sculptures made of coral everywhere, and the beings were going into them. I think those are like the buildings and houses that they live in. They were just weirdly shaped. Like we have a building is straight up, and then it's just the top. Theirs were like up point, down, tall point, and then it just went jagged on the other side, and then it did another small point, and then it went down. And then they were going into those things, and I think they're buildings.
Do you remember anything else about it? Like what they were doing, or did you pick up on anything going on there? Maybe why you could have felt a bad vibe about entering?
Not really.
Mm-hmm. Were they aware of your presence?
Yeah.
And they were friendly?
Yeah.
Very cool.
You've made a video, we'll post that soon on a bit more about it.
Oh, so we got the sneak preview today, huh?
Yeah.
Perfect. So anything else you'd like to say about the portals? And
nah.
But I think you said something, they're everywhere, basically, correct?
You know,
like in playgrounds or just anywhere in the world, there's portals.
Those are angels. Those are angels.
In your portals video, you were saying how you can see different portals here and there.
Oh, yeah. It's in the portals, but not rune portals.
Oh, so that's a different type of portal altogether.
Rune portals, when I finish reading the words, it's just everything's like a watery blue, and then it just flashes a big red sign of the rune symbol, like that, and then I just everything turns black, and then I'm in the spot that the rune takes you to.
And what's this like from your perspective, Heidi? Like, have you kind of watched him go to sleep, or?
Yeah.
Well, of course you have, but any type of observations you've made yourself?
We've got 2 Runes as Portals videos that we're going to post, and one of the first ones he does it, so you see him just go out to it. But is that what you're saying, Hayden, that they're different in what you do and come back versus the other portals?
In normal portals that I just see everywhere, it's just I just go through it, and then instantly when I go through it, there's a big blue tunnel of light, and then as after the tunnel finishes, I get to the spot that the portal takes you to. And there might be another portal near it that I can go through again.
Uh-huh.
And you really have no fear about all this. You know, like I'm like, do you know where you're going and where you might end up? But that's one thing that really stands out to me is you don't have the fear like some of us do. You just sense it and know that.
And once I found a portal to the first dimension, that was crazy.
Scary.
Where?
The first dimension.
Was it scary though? Because the second one sounded kind of not cool.
Yeah.
Where did you see that portal
though? I can't remember.
Here on Earth or when you're astral
Here on
projecting?
Earth.
Oh, there you go.
You can only, if you're in whichever dimension you are in wherever you are when you find the portals here on Earth would only go 3 dimensions down or 2 dimensions up. So the highest dimension portal we could get here on Earth is a 6-dimension one, nearly in the 7th. So
which leads us to the who lives there in the 6th.
What do you mean?
The dragons.
Yeah, the dragons.
You know about the astral dragons, right?
Yeah.
Let's hear about them.
What?
Let's hear about the astral dragons.
So the dragons that I see, they can be anywhere, but I've seen the most of them up in 6th dimension, and they each have their own elements, like fire, water, gas, earth, and there was another one that I can't remember. I think it was ice.
You're talking about
lightning. And they each look different. Like they each have energy according to do with their element that kind of looks a bit like their element. Like they might have their element flashing around them, and the earth dragons might look all cracked with brown on them. Lightning dragons are probably going to be yellow and blue with lightning flashing all over them. Water dragons are blue with aqua mist flashing around them, and they all look different. Like the gas dragons are grey, and they're all different according to their own elements.
And there's white ones too, the ether elemental, right?
Yeah.
And what are those ones like? What do they have radiating around them? Energy.
They kind of have like purple. I don't know how you describe it. It's like purple. I don't know what it would be. But
just like energy, like
purple energy.
Purplish pink. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. And
they're
so,
like literally completely white, but their eyes are green with a tiny bit of black in them. So I think that's the only bit that isn't white. On the end of a little bit of the tip of their tail is purple too.
And do you know what they have for intentions with humans or any connection to us?
No.
Do you want to tell how they work with you?
I don't.
The dragons. When you made your video about how they balance you. You know how you made your video about how the dragons come in, you can call them, or they help you with the different elements?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to tell?
So they can help me like the ice dragons. These are the ones in Strata. The ice dragons in Strata because I created Strata and all the dragons there, I got a little bit of the dragon's power when in me. So the ice dragons, when it's really cold, I'll just feel normal temperature. It like radiates heat in me.
That's here on Earth when you feel cold, eh? Yeah.
And the fire dragons up in Strata, when I feel cold here, no. When I feel hot here on Earth, they give me like ice in me so that I feel cold.
So it sounds like they help balance things.
Yeah.
With the different elements.
Yeah.
Quite magically, I'm the mum saying, stick on a jumper, it's cold. And he's like, no, I've got my ice wing powers. And it's taken a while for me to actually go with it and trust and believe it, hey, that you're actually heating yourself. Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you send out just an intention for their assistance if you're feeling out of balance, hot, cold, nauseous, confused?
No, when I created Strata, because I created the dragons and they had their elements with them, and the dragons came to Strata from the 6th dimension, I got some of the power from the dragons, that because the dragons have these powers and more powers. They gave a bit of their power to me. They still have their power, but I got some of the power that I could use here down on Earth. And so I don't have to set an intention for them to come. I just have the power in me.
So you set your own intention to use that though, hey, like if you're cold?
No, it just happens.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
So you never get hot, cold, sick, confused, anxious, just pure balance.
Well, not I do get sick. But...
Yeah, and that's what I was just thinking, like the temperature one's been really obvious, but with the other things like that, even confused or whatnot, not so much, hey, that'd be cool. It's definitely, you've definitely got some of the elements, hey, yeah.
That's awesome, though. What about angels? You see them everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And I've got a picture here that I drew, and it's got a picture of me when I astral project. Can you all see that?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to say what you call yourself in this?
Hypsilipia. That's because when I'm up there, I use vibrations to talk, and the vibrations when I come down here on Earth, I make them into a word. The vibrations because they mean things up there, and so I just make the vibrations into a word, and it means Hypsilipia, my name.
Hypsilipia.
Yeah.
The vibration, I remember the vibration code that my name is. Long, long, short, long, short, short, long. That's my name in vibrations. It's just a vibration that's like
They're
a long
pulses.
Yeah.
So it's a short pulse and a long pulse, and however you had mentioned.
The code.
Does that go with the syllables of that? Hypsilipia? No?
No.
Oh, there you go. I'm a speech pathology going into that stuff.
Going into syllables, that's a good...
Trying to make sense of it. Down here.
So do you want tell me about the angels. There's different
I see
types.
The angels. Most of them look like me, but they're kind of a couple of... There are different ones. Like, I'm a 5th dimensional being from Elba, my home planet, and so the 5-dimensional beings look like me, just little bits of differences. And then the other dimensional beings look different to me, and they're like completely different. Like the 4th dimensional beings, the greys, as we call them here on Earth, they look like, some of you might have seen them in a picture, or maybe you've even had contact with them. And so they all look different. And then the angels, they're like in the 7th dimension, they're not physical. Sixth dimension and up, they're not like physical, they're like part energy. Like the dragons have the energy radiating around them. Then the 7th dimension ones are completely energy, and they're just not physical at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like wind. Like, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like sort of.
You say to me, you're a wisp of a wind, hey?
Yeah.
You grasp for words to try and explain it.
They're almost like light.
Like windy, lighty, plasticky. I don't know what you'd call it. Not plasticky. But
Plasticky, huh?
it's like a wave of.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fluid.
Yeah, bit.
Yeah. What about like even the angels here on Earth though that you see? Do you want to say
Yeah, I see angels everywhere. That's why I was like, when you said you see the portals everywhere, I was like, I see angels everywhere.
Right.
Because I see angels everywhere. They're like everywhere, helping us for what we need, for whatever we need. And so I see them everywhere when I go astral projecting and down here on Earth. And I just see them everywhere.
That's amazing. And there are different angels in the higher dimensions as well,
Yeah.
right? Yep.
Like the mega angels that I talked about in one of my videos. They're like in dimension 11 and 12, and they can go to any dimension, just they can't go into dimension 3, 2, or 1. Because it's just the moment they enter it, because they can go into super high dimensions, the moment they enter it, they just would freeze of darkness. And
their vibration is too high, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to say anything about what the mega angels do?
Right.
Like what you've told me about.
They just help everyone, and they created the earth, like in some religions. They say God created the earth in 7 days. I say the mega angels created the earth. And that's what I believe, that the mega angels created everything. Well, that's what I know.
Mm-hmm. So they helped materialize everything.
Yeah, they
working
created
with the main source of energy.
Yeah, they created the blank planet of Strata. Then I put the stuff on it, but they created the planet, like the rock.
Almost like a template for you to work with.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Anything else you want to say about the angels? Anything interesting about them, or?
No, but there is one last thing I want to say about Strata that I forgot that I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
So when I created it, there was like what the mega angels did is the moment you started putting the stuff on the planet, they shoot a ball of light into the middle of Strata, like they hollow out a tiny bit of space in the Strata, and they put a little orb of light in there. And if that orb of light is ever taken out of Strata will just disappear instantly.
Is that the mega angels putting that there?
Yeah. No, they didn't put it there, but when I start putting things on Strata, it just goes there. And
so they almost activate the planet.
Yeah, it's the same thing with every planet, even ours. Even Earth.
Into the core.
Yeah.
It's almost like the heart of the planet.
Yeah, the very middle of the Earth has got, every planet has got a little orb of light in it.
Mm-hmm. And every star too, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And
our stars ones A star's one's just bigger.
Yes, much bigger. Yeah. And hotter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. So do you want to talk about the differences between the dimensions?
What you mean?
Have you got anything to say on that?
Like what is significant? What's significantly different about, say, the 7th and the 8th dimension, or the 5th and the 6th? You know, what are the major differences?
There's not much. It's just the higher the dimension, the more high vibe everything is, and the more they're more like energy, not solid. They're less solid, they're more energy. That's basically what everything is, and they're just more powerful. Like the mega angels that can travel to the highest dimensions, and so they are just more powerful. They have control over the entire universe.
And they're different than archangels?
Yeah, those are like the angels that deal with Earth. They're like Earth's angels.
I see.
Mm.
Okay. You had some cards, not the one, you got rid of the ones that I've seen, but
yeah.
and you talked about the chakras. How about you tell me about the chakras? What do you know about them, and how do you even know about them? Just always known, or?
Yeah, always known.
The interesting thing that I will say is Hayden picks up information in a quick instant. His memory is ridiculous and he absorbs info. So you only have to have wafted and said something to someone and he's picked it up. So that's the interesting thing, working out where Hayden's got different things from, and not have him take what I've said, which might be wrong, and twisted that into his stuff. But when you made those cards, that was a good while ago. Hey, do you remember what you were doing with them?
Something with light codes.
You've had a big time with the codes. Like, even when you were tiny, it was the quickest instant. I went to put his brother to bed, and one night I came in, he was supposed to be brushing his teeth or something, and he'd got a pen, a marker, and done these massive codes on his bedroom wall, his bedspread, curtains, just everywhere. And we came in, I was like, oh, and first reaction, hey, what have you done? But it's kind of gone on that way with these random bits that kind of come through. So that the cards you're just drawn to, making cards and putting these activation codes and things on there.
Were you able to get any pictures of that beautiful artwork?
I do actually. I when you take so many photos you lose track, but I do have them there, and obviously it's still there on the wall. It's faded because we did some scrubbing, but the mark is definitely there.
Maybe we can put some pictures in a video sometime. That would be really cool to see that.
Yeah.
Or you could just make new ones, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. It's the mural wall.
That would be awesome.
For your bedroom,
So what cards have you created lately? You've got a few, your mum said.
I know, I've got 2 of my favourite sets here. So far in this set I've got 38 cards that I've made. They've got like beasts or creatures on them that just came to me.
Can you show one just to the camera?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you can see that. It's probably a bit tricky.
All right.
Give you a sense anyway.
You see that one better.
So this is like a game, this one?
No, this is just cards.
So underneath though, do you want to tell them what's on the bottom?
So those are all the different elements that all these cards come in, and they whichever element is black on the bottom, that's the element. Let's see if I can find one you might be able to see.
Hold it up a little bit further. That back. Yeah, so I think what you're saying is that you've made
I've made
it obvious
whatever
on the card.
Whichever element's black on the card, that's the element that beast is, and made it all the way up to number 38, although I haven't coloured all of them.
And you
Very
have,
cool.
again, the numbers.
Yeah.
Different numbers and codes and things. That
I've got whatever number it is, its name, however likely it is, if it was real, it would kill you.
Okay, yeah.
How common to find this card in my set is, and which series it's from. So there's 8 cards in there's 8 cards in a series, each of a different element. So that's series 1. And
this is in this series of cards.
Series 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you want to just summarize
You get to
that.
color that one still. Huh?
Just keeps on going.
Yeah, that's heaps to show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then, do you want to show like just an idea of your next ones? What types of themes? Pop them down here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued. Like, I didn't see that video before, but the heart cards that he made, and I'm like, oh, this is older, but I haven't seen it. Just kind of showed up, and he had some kind of system, number system, and you mentioned something about like a person could kind of know what's going to happen in the next couple days. It's almost like you were using them as tarot cards, but you had different chakras in the upper left-hand corner of each heart card, and then a number, which was light codes, I think you said. And then you have to determine the sum of the 2 numbers, depending on the individual. So there's almost some sort of equation I think you came up with, which is something probably you might want to explore that again, because that's very cool.
Wait. Yeah, and that's the interesting thing. I feel like a lot of the things Hayden brings through, he doesn't understand yet the purpose. He's just creating. He creates like a madman, and I can see as he goes along these little seeds. Even I'm helping to come to that heart stuff. What do the people want? Earthing it actually lets ground something. Then the mad creating, downloading.
Awesome.
Yeah, do you want to show these?
So
just quickly,
I'm really addicted to Greek gods, basically, and I really like them. So I made these Greek god cards, if you can see them.
Oh yeah.
So
is that Zeus?
King of the gods, Zeus. And then so far I've done 6 cards, and they've got their attacks on the back that they can kill you with. They've got
lovely.
This one's a game, so you can use the attacks on other gods and and I'm getting ready to create heroes and monsters and all that, like Medusa and all those. And I'm creating frisbees. That's a lightning frisbee there. And
cool.
You need like 2 lightning frisbees to add 50 life to Zeus. So
that sounds like a fun game to play.
Yeah.
And now, speaking of the Greek gods, where would they be existing now? On which dimension, and what might they be doing? Or have they?
I don't know that.
You haven't really looked into that. I thought you were addicted to them, huh? Maybe you'll have to look for them.
But they live on Mount Olympus, though.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him what your plan is
to do? Place to visit.
I'm going to travel to New York, and then I'm going to go into the Empire State Building, go to the top level, go into the lift, press up, and as far as I know, it goes up into Olympus, and then I'm going to travel to Olympus and say hi to the gods.
What was your plan when you get to Olympus?
become a god.
Yes.
Nice. Well, you kind of are on straighter in the
Yeah.
seventh dimension, and basically meaning a creator.
Yeah.
You're creating a planet and evolving it. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Am I welcome to visit?
Yeah, if you can get there.
All right.
We've
I'll
had
do
one
my
friend
best.
try, and then, but do you want to tell them even like how you, because someone asked, do you keep it safe or anything? Like, can anyone get into there?
It's like an energetic barrier, like a block that unless you're like high vibe enough, like if you've got like enough like good energy in you, like a seventh dimension being, or or someone high like a seventh dimension being, if you've got enough of that energy, you'll be able to get in there. I don't know really how to explain it.
If your vibration is high enough.
Yeah.
If
It's high enough, you can, and if you like, if your vibration's high enough, you'll be able to get there. And when you get there, you can, if your vibration is high enough, you'll be able to go through. But if it's not, it'll just be the moment
You can't make it through the barrier.
Yeah. If not, you'll never make it through because it's a complete barrier around the entire planet.
I don't blame you for having that.
Yeah.
Keep out the low vibrational beings.
And it's impossible to break too, so I always know it's
Safe.
yeah.
Awesome.
Only one person's ever gotten through.
Well, yeah, do you want to tell about that?
Is that the guy you connected with from China?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he's from China.
Okay.
I just sense it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's made it through.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, anything else you'd like to share with us today?
Not really.
No? All right.
This has been some new stuff for me. Every time you sit down and talk, more things come out. So, yeah, that's it.
Anything you'd like to add, Heidi, before we wrap it up today?
No, I think that's pretty cool. That's a cool, vision of, Hayden's journey along the ways, and the things that just kind of keep coming. And it's so interesting. The more I activate myself, the more he starts talking more stuff. And I feel like even talking to other people, it's just like you're ready to talk. It's just we've got to be at the right point to actually receive and know what we want out of you. And then you following your path and finding what you're here on Earth for. That's the cool thing too, watching it. So
what do you think your mission is here on Earth in this human existence?
I don't know.
You'll learn.
Yeah, you're creating now. You can just see you're just creating stuff. And really, I see your contract right now. I said you've done a good job. You've activated us and the family. It's his brother now activating more stuff for us to get them out of the school system. But I've seen that's been a huge thing for you here. It's been not easy for you whatsoever. I even said to you one day, if you knew what it was like, would you choose to come here again? You're like, and I was like, no. But that's definitely one part right now. So it's interesting that you have some memories of even incarnating in here, but don't necessarily remember your journey yet. Yeah.
You have plenty of time, bud.
Yeah. I know.
So when are you going to New York?
Because that's the portal to when.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about it. We're all planning adventures around the world for different things. So he's not going to fly to Greece. He's going to fly to New York instead and teleport to.
You're going to the Amazons.
Yeah, that's right. I'm off to the Amazons. So we'll see what we're doing.
Could get closer to Olympus if you go to Dubai, perhaps. Aren't those buildings taller in Dubai?
I don't know. I got told the Empire State Building is the portal to Olympus.
Oh, so it's very specific, has nothing to do with the height of the building.
I think so.
That's super cool. And you got
Mm.
that from one of your guidance and guides in other dimensions?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's where
Well,
but
I can't wait to see that video after you come back.
Totally.
Like, Zeus is awesome. We're buddies now. So
yeah, you
yeah,
practically, he embodies the gods, that's for sure, quite a lot. So
I
yeah.
guess creating planets.
Yeah, but yeah, just, you know, especially with this Greek stuff, it's activating you, and it's really cool. Like, you know, you're so into maths, and then you see, oh, the Greeks, you know, ran maths and this and that. So I can see there's, plenty more to come, which is cool too.
Awesome. I'm so glad to connect with you guys. I've been looking forward to it, and I still can't get over how your channel, Hayden, showed up in my feed on YouTube. I think you might have like 50 subscribers at the time last summer, and
I've got 62 now.
I think you have more. I think you have 79 or so. Well, you're gonna have more after this, I hope. So if everybody goes to his channel, it's Star Hayden, and it's your name is Hayden, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then your channel is Heidi Hosking, as people can see.
That's right. Yeah, Steve.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then HeidiHosking.com is your website.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us. What do you
Absolutely.
want to say? Yeah, it's great.
Thanks.
You're very welcome, Hayden. I'm sure we'll chat again sometime.
Yeah.
You're going to stay in touch with me?
Yep.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, cool.
Well, thank you so much, guys. And maybe we'll have another chat in the future.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.